Go ahead. What? Tell them where we're heading into. Hey, we're heading into the comic book and toy show here in New Egypt, New Jersey. Together for the first time. We're together. And if you look around, we are really out there. Deep in the New Jersey farmland. Yep. Let's see what we pick up. Let's see what we find. So we took a trip.
First time together since we started this channel.
Yep. Took a trip over to New Egypt, New Jersey. It's about 45 minutes away from where we live.
On Staten Island.
And it was a sort of minor convention, very small convention, in an Elks Lodge, actually.
So if you've been collecting for a long time and you remember the days before super comic cons and big conventions, most of our conventions were held in the basements of churches or in VFW posts, and they were very small. There was vendors who were not big-time vendors. They were their regular people
usually
like
local
we were,
local
comic shop guys. Actually, a lot of times not comic shops, just regular people who sold comic books on the side. Same thing with baseball cards. If you went to baseball card conventions, I went to hundreds of baseball card conventions in churches and like synagogues, VFW posts, whatever else they had.
Yeah, I think I told you when we were there that it reminded me of the convention in the 80s where I bought the first issue of Faust.
Yeah, and that's what it was like. It brought back a lot of memories for both of us of how we used to go to conventions and buy comic books.
Yep.
No celebrities, no artists, just vendors selling whatever they had.
Selling stuff.
And some of it was junk. Some of it was just stuff that the guy threw together and was trying to sell at a table that he probably paid $150 for.
Right. And then others, there was some real cool stuff.
Yeah, there was some really good things. There was one guy had these really cool Marvel lunch trays from 1970s. Yeah. I remember having, I actually think I had one from Star Wars when I was a kid. So anytime I stayed home sick, I pulled out my lunch tray and that's how I watched TV and that's how I ate my lunch. Brian had a black hole one, of course.
I did have a black hole lunchbox at one point.
I had Star Wars.
I noticed too that this was the first time in a while that I've been to a show like this where I saw Star Wars figures for sale. The old ones.
And
loose.
I got to be honest with you, me and Brian are both thinking about going down that rabbit hole.
I don't think I can.
We talked to the guy who was selling them. We were this close to buying some
pretty close
of these old figures. And the guy had a couple of card ones too that were really cool. They actually had, one guy had Star Wars cases too, the old Darth Vader and C-3PO character cases. I was battling in my head not to buy them. I actually ended up not buying them because I was there to buy comic books, not to buy toys. The same vendor also had a Batman game.
Yeah.
And one guy had tons of lunch boxes, and I'm a sucker for old lunch boxes. I have a couple around here somewhere. There's actually down in the thing, I have the old DC ones and the old Marvel ones. He had a Hulk one and a couple other ones that really
I was pretty close to buying a Misfits lunchbox.
Yeah, there was
the band.
That guy, the one vendor had a bunch of these lunch boxes, and he also had this Mego Wonder Woman that he was selling in box of about $800, along with these $6 million man figures.
Oh man, they had Oscar Goldman and they had Jamie Summers,
and they had one of the things that revives them too. It was I love going to these small conventions because you see stuff that you would normally not see anywhere else, and you're like, wow, I remember that, or I've never seen that before. Brian actually saw this Freddy figure.
Oh, it was actually a figure called Max Effects. It was a failed action figure line about a special effects makeup guy who put on costumes to fight crime, and they screwed up the release of it by making Freddy the first
what parent is buying Freddy for their kid?
And that was like 1985. It was like when Freddy was new. So yeah, it flopped, but unfortunately it flopped because the potential for what it could have been was really cool.
The alien the alien looks fantastic. The xenomorph
and the Dracula
fantastic.
figure that was supposed to come out.
They should have started with the alien figure. It looked amazing. No one's going to buy Freddy who's a child molester and killer for their child as a
not
toy.
A good way to sell a toy.
It's not going to work. And it wasn't back in those days. There wasn't a lot of adult collectors like there are nowadays.
Now people buy Freddy
and all of you probably watching adult collectors.
Yeah.
Along with the Freddy thing, which is always unique there, the guy had a Freddy doll, and right under him was a Batman cereal from 1989, still in the box wrapped up. I'm not sure what that probably tasted like.
The plastic.
It had the Batman bank on it.
Yep.
Not sure you should eat that, but
no.
And one vendor had these very interesting looking SNL figures.
Oh, the bee, the Belushi bee, and the Conehead.
That's right.
Yep.
I've never seen them before. They were very detailed, good for display.
That same guy had an old Die Rugger 15, the Voltron 2 figure.
Yes.
Which it was the 12-inch.
If you're interested in Voltron or any of those old Shogun Warriors figures, Brian just did a whole episode
Check out my history.
on the history of Shogun Warriors. I'll put it in the details, the link to look at that video. So you may be wondering, what did we buy when we went to this convention?
What did we buy?
We bought a lot of comics. Yes, when me and Brian go to conventions, we always look for cheap deals. We hit this one guy who had 75-cent comics or 3 for $2. I bought a couple of issues from him. We also hit a guy who had buy 10.
Well, it was they were 10 for $10, but if you bought 10, no, it was
it was 10 for $10. If you bought 10, you got 10 free.
Yeah,
so they're 50 cents a comic.
50 cents a comic.
And there was some new stuff, old stuff, some stuff that really like, wow, how is that only 50 cents? So
and the kind of weird stuff that I look for.
Yes. So this video is going to contrast what me and Brian like. I, as I've said in many of our other videos, love superhero comics, so I primarily buy superhero comics. Brian, on the other hand, likes pornography and barbarians, so
Not
he
true.
bought pornography
Not
and
true.
barbarians.
There's no pornography in here.
Oh, okay. Sorry, no.
None.
Brian likes the weird. Here's what he was looking at during the convention. Weird.
Weird War.
There you go. He was looking at weird. So
I love
he
Weird War.
fit the description of what he was looking at. Weird comics.
I didn't buy those Weird War, and I still
know
kind
you
of
didn't.
regret it because they were like 3 for $10, and it was a little.
I hate
more
going
than
to
I
conventions
wanted.
sometimes just because of that, because I leave the convention, come home, and I think to myself, why didn't I buy that?
Should've got the
one
Weird War.
one guy had a She-Hulk #1, and the guy had it for $49.95. It was a little bit damaged, but I was like, I just bought one, but I was like, I could definitely use a second one, and $49.95 for a She-Hulk #1, not a bad price.
Yeah, really, that's a good price.
That's a great price for it. So let's get into what we bought. Who would you like to start? Brian. And if you like what you see here, please subscribe. We will be doing more conventions together and separate probably. We will be visiting comic shops throughout the rest of the year, and we'll be doing our toy videos and our comic book videos. So I'm going to start off from the 3 for $2 guy. I bought some New Mutants comics. New Mutants number 17.
Oh, that's a great cover. That's
New
one of the
Mutants
Sienkiewicz
number
covers, right?
19. Yes.
Sienkiewicz.
Number
I
19.
never get his name right.
New Mutants number 20.
These are all him.
Yep.
All Big Bill.
All for 75 cents or 3 for $2. The only problem with them, you can't smell it because you're in there, is they smell a little mildewy. I'm actually going to do an episode on how to get rid of that smell if you don't know already.
By the way, did you see the advertisement?
29.
That advertisement. Oh my God. On the back. Yeah.
Very famous.
That brings back a
advertisement
lot
from
of
the
memories.
1980s. I just recently started trying to recollect the New Mutants thing. New Mutants 30 crossover with Secret Wars 2.
These covers are great.
Very, very artistic for that time.
Very good.
New Mutants 31. So again, I'm trying to complete the Mutants line. I bought the big ones. First appearance Cable, first appearance of Deadpool.
Nice.
And now I'm trying to just fill in some of the other ones that weren't as popular. So that was my first run that I bought from the 75-cent guy. I also bought these Teen Titans. New Teen Titans number 2. I couldn't beat it for 75 cents. New Teen Titans number 4. Another line I'm really enjoying. Now let's see some of the things that Brian bought.
Okay. First up,
Cue weird music.
War Story. This is number...
Should be prepared.
Don't see it. It's a one-shot. Written by Garth Ennis, illustrated by David Lloyd. Both immensely talented. If you don't know Garth Ennis, you should research him. He's great. Irish writer. And David Lloyd is the illustrator of V for Vendetta, who I met at a convention once, and without me even asking, he just asked what my favorite character was that he drew. I said V, of course, from V for Vendetta. And he did a nice sketch for me of V in green crayon on typing paper.
And you brought that with you so we can see it.
It's at home on the wall.
Oh yeah, I know. I've seen it.
Next up, I got my Scout fix, because I like Scout
We
comics.
are really enjoying Scout Comics and what they're putting out. They have that Ric Flair comic coming out. I actually was recently on an auction of theirs and won a couple of issues that are coming. We'll be doing an unboxing when they come.
Right. So from Scout, I got Corset, which is a really odd fantasy story about fashion. It's kind of steampunkish. I got Night of the Cadillacs, which is a horror story. I just bought this for the title. I know nothing about it, but DirtBag Rapture. I mean, you just can't get a better title than that. It's from Oni Press. DirtBag Rapture. I got Dali. It's a surrealist comic, Cerberus in Hell. If he goes to hell and gets trapped by Dali, Salvador Dali.
Oh, really?
In a surrealist hell.
That's who Salvador Dali is right there.
It's a very, very
Cerebus and
weird,
Salvador Dali.
very strange
Sounds very
issue of the
interesting.
comic. I got all new Firefly #1. I like Firefly. And this is a continuation of the story after the events in the movie Serenity.
Very good.
And, I mean, Hellboy. A one-shot Hellboy.
Dark Horse Hellboy, who could beat it?
Can't beat it. DPRD. The BPRD. I'm sorry, BPRD. This is a 1957 story. It's great. Children of the Plague from
More
Dark Horse.
Dark Horse.
Another Dark Horse. Cool sci-fi story about mutants, apocalypse, that kind of thing. Really cool. Love it.
So if you notice, Brian bought all Dark Horse and Scout, and all of mine so far have been Marvel.
Yep. Another Dark Horse, Parasomnia.
We are very different in what we purchase.
Pretty cool little story.
Looks like that alien artist.
Yep. Dead Mall from Dark Horse. Another horror story. Horror story set in a mall, nonetheless, which, giving my Long Island upbringing, hits very close to home.
And the way malls are dying right now also hits home.
True enough. This I just grabbed because I liked the cover and later found out illustrated by Mark Teixeira from Ghost Rider.
Very
fame.
nice.
Megalith from something called Continuity
Never heard of
Comics.
it. #1. You
Never
know,
heard of it.
From Continuity Comics.
Again,
Never heard of them either.
50 cents. Can't
50 cents, can't beat it.
Okay, this triple play from AfterShock. This I got because there's a short story set in the universe of Animosity. If you've ever read Animosity, it's a comic from AfterShock about animals becoming intelligent and turning against people.
Really?
Yeah, it's a really cool story. This one, again, strictly bought because of the cover and the title.
Isn't
This
that why we buy a lot of covers?
is a virgin cover of something called Regarding the Matter of Oswald's Body. It
What's
has
a
something-
virgin cover?
A virgin means no type on the cover.
No type. The type is always on the back, not on
Right.
the cover. It's a virgin cover by one of our favorites, Boom Studios.
Boom Studios.
There you go.
This one, again, weird. Highball. About a space pilot who does things better when he's drunk.
Don't we all? We're both very drunk right now as we record this.
That's not true.
Not true.
Don't let people think.
We don't record drunk. That would be irresponsible.
Next, simple sale for me. Lovecraft Unknown Cadith.
Didn't you make fun of me being drunk on one episode where I didn't remember what I bought?
I might have made
You
that
did.
joke, yes. So again, anything with Lovecraft, I tend to buy.
We're not necessarily recommending these titles. This is just what we bought when
Right.
we were at a convention.
2 issues of Army of Darkness versus Reanimator, issues 1 and issue 3. Now I got to find 2
I have
somewhere.
actually
in the
read
rest
this
of them.
series already. I buy anything that includes the Army of Darkness in it.
And I happen to really love Reanimator.
One of my weird things that I buy.
I love the Reanimator stories. Okay, this Vampiverse. Guys know the comic book character Vampirella, who's an alien vampire from another planet. This fits into her universe.
She has a huge universe right now. It's been growing for years, and when they put out a new Vampirella comic, there's like multiple covers.
Yep,
Some
Vampirella's
with real
been around
people,
since the, I
some
wanna say late 60s.
adult covers.
She was started in the Warren
Yeah, she's been
publishing
around.
company,
She's been
right?
around a long time.
In the 60s. Yeah, really cool. Since I have number 2 somewhere, I bought number 3 of Fright Night from American Mythology.
Number 3.
And on the back, there's an advertisement for a Silent Night, Deadly Night comic, which I probably will have to go look for.
The only problem with this is that he bought number 2, not number 3.
Well, I got number 2 from you, and then
Well, this is number 2.
oh, I have number 3 then.
You have number-
I have number 3, and this is number 2.
He has number 1 at home, but who's counting? All right, here's some of
yet.
the other stuff that I bought. No,
Oh, keep going back to your stuff. Yeah,
Brian bought graphic novels.
We'll
I
get
did
to
not.
those.
Here's one of the ones I bought. I made a rookie mistake when I opened it. I got caught on the Scotch tape. New Wave, and it tore the cover. New Wave #1 by Eclipse Comics. Just something I started buying
Nice.
with some Eclipse Comics. Again, rookie mistake, man. Got it caught up in here.
Eclipse has some good titles.
Kitty Pryde and Wolverine.
I love this
number
series.
3. Me too. Recollecting it now.
So good.
Great series.
That's the one where they go to Japan and they meet
Yep.
Wolverine's old teacher.
Justice League Spectacular #1, back from 1992. Don't know anything about this issue, but I know I love Justice League International, and this is issue #1. This is the alternate cover for issue #1. I believe that if you put the covers together, it's like a wraparound cover.
Oh, nice.
Look at
That's
this.
awesome.
Crazy skills. Justice League Cry for Justice. It's number 6 of 7 in a limited series.
Is that Prometheus on the cover?
I believe it is.
Yeah, I don't read superhero comics.
I didn't say you didn't read them. I said you don't buy them. 1985 #1.
Another great series.
I don't know anything about this series. It
Really
caught my eye. It looked really
cool.
good.
Really cool series. Good
I think
story.
this one has issues number 1 through 3 in it. That's why I bought it.
Oh, it's
Again, it was 50 cents. The New Warriors, as I've spoke about in some other episodes, I'm trying to collect the whole entire series. This is issue number 32. Speedball. This is issue number 41. Also bought a Wonder Woman 300. This
Nice.
cover is amazing.
That is a good
It is a
cover.
wraparound cover. Look at this thing.
That's really great.
It includes a lot of the DC characters, including many of the Wonder Woman ones. I just thought it was actually phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a great cover.
Titans on the back. Popular, very popular
Very
at the
nice.
time. I bought another Mighty Thor number 343, collecting the run by the Simonsons.
Nice people.
They
I
really
met them
are.
too.
I know you did.
Great people.
Good cover. This one, Justice League of America number 1. I'm trying to collect all the different state covers. This state is... Any ideas?
No, actually don't.
New Jersey.
Oh, that's New Jersey's flag?
That's New Jersey's flag.
We were in New
Correct.
Jersey
It's
when you
New
bought
Jersey
it.
when you bought it. How perfect could you be? New Jersey with the New Jersey flag. I think I only need about 6 more of the covers. They are not really easy to find. Again, 50 cents.
Very cool.
Next, I bought a bunch of Ultimate Wars.
Ultimate War is good.
Ultimate War number 3. Ultimate War number 4. And then I bought the entire run of the Ultimates 2.
Great.
How can I go wrong for 50 cents a piece? Number 1. Number 2.
It's a really good series.
Number 3. Number 4. Captain Britain. Number 5. The Mighty Thor.
This and the first Ultimate's very big influence on
Number
the beginning of the
6.
MCU.
Number 7. Again, if you're following, it's been 50 cents a piece.
Yep.
Number 8.
That's why you gotta
Number
check
9.
those cheap bins.
Always check the cheap bins.
Always check the cheap bins.
Number 10. Bought an entire run of this. Number 11.
It's incredible.
Number 12. Great cover. Wraparound cover.
Brian Hitch, right?
Yeah. Number 13. And annual number 1. So I bought all of these for $7. How can you beat
That is
$7?
awesome. That is
$7 for an entire run of these. Original cover price on these was $3.99. That's
Great.
3 issues. Ultimate Avengers number 2. I bought number 1 at a convention recently.
Nice.
I'll show you my last couple after Brian goes through his.
The next 3 books I bought are trade paperbacks. I bought Death
How much
or
were they?
Glory. It was 3 for $20.
Okay, so this one guy had a great selection of these 3 for $20.
3 for $20.
But then his comics were extremely overpriced.
The individual issues.
$10 an issue for stuff that I have seen in $1 and $2 boxes.
Again, Death or Glory, love Rick Remender. He's a great storyteller. This is a crime story about a young girl who rips off a drug dealer in an attempt to get an organ transplant for her stepfather. It's kind of like Smokey and the Bandit meets Drive meets action movie glory. It's great. It's good
I
stuff.
love when we record these just because now we're surrounded by comics. There's comics all around us
Everywhere.
right now.
Next 2 graphic novels I got were hardcovers from Avatar Press. I bought them because they were both written by Warren Ellis. I'm a big Warren Ellis fan. I think he's a great storyteller. I know he's done some bad things that have put him in a very bad light, but I'm trying to ignore that so that I could simply just enjoy the good work he's done.
Enjoy what he wrote.
Right.
You didn't-
And maybe he's not a great guy, but he's put out some great stuff.
You didn't show your porn.
That's it.
I bought a couple more things. I bought the official Image timeline. It gives a timeline. Very interesting. Never seen this before. A complete timeline of Image comics from their start with the artist at Marvel to how they created all their different titles. I thought it was a really interesting title. Never seen this before. Never heard it before. They have a fold-out cover with a whole bunch of their covers on it.
There's a lot of cool stories
Thought it was
involved in
great.
what Image was.
And it even looks at their ash cans,
Yeah.
which are the covers before they released the covers, which are awesome. I thought this was awesome. I'm going to spend some
Yeah.
time reading this. And I actually bought, now I'm not going to say a big boy, but I bought a reasonably priced, low-numbered Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four $99. I paid $5 for it. This will be my lowest Fantastic Four to date, the only one I have pre-100.
Very nice.
With another collection I'm putting together. I know I'm never going to finish it because some of these issues are worth way more than I can afford. But if this YouTube channel blows up, you never know. Maybe I'll be getting those. Finally, the last thing I bought, I didn't buy for myself. I bought for my partner, my dynamic duo partner.
Thank you very much.
Brian a Warlord, because we all know that Brian likes two things: porn and barbarians.
I loved this comic when I was younger. The Warlord.
Art by Mike Grell, if I
Oh yeah, because I mean,
correctly.
look how much he looks like Oliver Queen.
He looks
Yeah,
just like
it's the
Oliver.
same character.
Mike Grell drew Green Arrow for a while.
Thank you.
If you want to learn a little bit more about Green Arrow, check out our recent Green Arrow video.
Yep.
But Grell was a great artist for DC in the early 80s.
Yeah. On the way into the convention.
Yes.
Oh wait, are we doing that yet? Or are we going to do?
Oh, we bought
I
other
forgot
stuff.
about this.
We bought other stuff besides
forgot.
comics.
Hold on. Okay, so if there's one thing I like as much as I like comics,
Porn,
no, it's cult films.
barbarians.
No, cult films. Cult films. I love cult films. And there was a guy selling 3 DVDs for $10.
3 for $10.
3 for 10.
How can you beat that?
So of course I went through those and looked to see if there's anything that struck my interest.
Porn.
That looked weird, and the kind of stuff that I usually like.
Brian likes weird stuff. Surprise.
Right. So what I found, these are all, by the way, bootlegs. These are not.
I know they're not.
They're not
I
official.
they're not
movies.
official.
Yeah.
You should have just told him he can't sell those and confiscated all of them.
I got The Black Sleep from 1956, starring Basil Rathbone, Lon Chaney, and Tor Johnson.
I didn't know he did all the
Tor
movies.
Johnson. Tor Johnson is the mark of quality in cult films.
That's when you see him, you know it's Academy Award nominated.
I bought a movie that, when I saw as a kid, really, really stuck with me. Food of the Gods. Giant animals, giant rats mostly, eating people. Yeah. So
Yikes.
it's a scary one from the 70s.
Brian likes really bad movies, so if
do
Brian's
like bad
not
movies.
reading
I
comic
love
books,
bad
he's
movies.
watching really bad movies.
Yes. And finally, I only picked this because it's a nod to our old Creeping Celluloids podcast, The Devil's Daughter, starring Shelley Winters,
Shelley Winters. We did a
and
whole
Abe Vigoda.
run of Shelley Winters connected movies. So if we did a movie and we connected it to Shelley Winters in some way.
Abe Vigoda.
Abe Vigoda, Fish.
Before he was on Barney Miller.
Fish. I also bought something else besides comic books. I buy anything that has the Flash in it if I don't have it. And here is a Flash topper. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it means like a cake topper, but I don't know. It was $4. Why?
Pencil topper?
Not? Maybe? No. Looks more like a cake topper.
More like a cake topper, yeah.
There you go.
All right, so on the way into the convention, this is the first time that I've ever seen this, they handed us packs of comics for
Which
free.
was very nice. A bunch
thought
of
it was
comics.
nice.
We don't really know what's in them. We're going to open them right here, right now.
No clue
See who
what's
got the
in
better deal.
Hey, imagine there's an Action Comics.
I got a
number
Hulk 181. What'd you get? One. The Avengers versus the X-Men.
Oh, okay. I like that story. That was good.
That was my first one.
Yep. I got Age of Ultron. I don't know what number this is. What does it say?
Age of Ultron number... Doesn't really say.
Doesn't say.
Number 4.
4. This is Brian Michael Bendis wrote it. Looks like Brian Hitch, illustrator. Can't really go wrong. Probably fun.
Age of Ultron number 5.
Oh, there you go. We should trade.
We probably should.
Yeah. And then you'll end up getting all the Age of Ultrons.
There you go. I
Right.
don't want Age of Ultron.
I got Avengers End Times. Also looks like Brian Michael Bendis wrote that.
Number 32. And I got Cable number 8.
Nice.
That's not Brian Michael Bendis.
No.
And you got...
I got the new Fantastic Four, The Initiative. That's a post-Civil War thing, right?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is still 546, still in the stream of it. Nice cover.
Yeah, cool cover.
That was
Very
cool
nice.
that they gave it a thing.
Yeah, I gave her a couple things.
Convention was okay, a little bit small, a little bit too far away from us.
Kind of overpriced.
Kind of overpriced a lot of the dealers. We look for deals. That's why we hit the dollar bins and we hit the 75-cent bins. Some of the key issues were a little bit more than most people play. I don't think that they realized that there's been a change in the market. Some of them had prices that were
a little
during COVID. COVID prices are no longer viable.
Right. Yeah. So I'd go again. Not maybe to this one. But,
I wouldn't go to that.
but
this
to
one, yeah.
another convention like it.
Oh, we will be going to
Yeah.
more conventions. We have one coming up. I don't know if Brian's coming with me, but I will be there at King Con, which is a fantastic comic book convention in Jersey. If you've never been,
That's a bigger one.
Give it a
right?
look. It's a big one. Yeah, lots and lots and lots of it. And its prices are fantastic.
That's on April 25th.
That's right. Nice. So if you're in the area, April 25th, maybe by then we'll be starting our second giveaway, our in-person giveaway.
Oh.
We'll talk about that soon. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please subscribe and like. And as we always say,
love what you collect.
Collect what you love. Well, collect what you love. Collect what you love. See you next time. See, I have been drinking.